Hey YouTubers, Raven here. Tonight, whatever, we'll be talking about, Arrow, Season 4, Episode 6. Episode 6. So, as you can see, my, counterpart isn't here. She, as you all know that, I took a little time off doing this for, my school play. And she's taking a little time off now too, for catching up on her studies and stuff. Feeling a little overwhelmed with schoolwork right now because it's nearing the end, and you know that's when like all the stuff is due and everything. So yeah. Not sure when she'll be back. I don't think she is either, but I don't think it's much of a surprise that she's not. She used to be a really huge Arrow fan, but once The Flash came on, she's more of a Flash fan. She's more of a Flash person, so Arrow doesn't really excite her as much as it used to, so even when she comes back, I may or may not be doing Arrow videos on my own. That is up to her and what she decides. I mean, she's still watching them, but, like, talking about it just doesn't excite her like it used to. So, yeah. Arrow videos I'm doing alone right now. I'm doing The Flash alone. I'm doing Supernatural alone as well right now. So pretty much the weekly shows I am doing by myself. She will be around for Once Upon a Time because that is Sundays. So she has time on Sundays and she doesn't feel rushed and everything. So, sorry I keep looking that way. My window's open. So I guess it is good morning because, well, the sun is shining bright outside, and objects go by and catch my attention. Hee. Am I easily distracted? Apparently. Well, okay. So I think I got all the announcements out of the way. I think so. So let's get started. Okay. Well, I haven't been able to talk to you guys about Arrow since episode 1. So, sorry, I don't sleep good anymore, so, I don't sleep good during the semesters. I'm always so stressed out and everything, so I yawn a lot. Okay. So, this season, the season so far is pretty much, like, Damien Dark and, like, Ray being gone, and Diggle not really wanting to hang out with Oliver anymore. But tonight's episode, oh, and Sarah's back. I was so happy. So happy. I mean, like, oh my gosh. Even when she was, like, not, like, all there, when she was, like, possessed by whatever it was, or whatever. Like, when they first brought her back and she was a husk. I was so happy. Oh, so happy. You guys, probably don't know how much of a, fan I was of her. But she's back, Sarah's back. Because we weren't doing reviews before she died. So, I mean, we did the reviews for the season that she died in, for the episode that she died in. I believe that was season, I know that was season 3 last season. I think it was episode 3. I think that's the episode we started doing reviews on. So I was like hella mad and everything. Like, I was so like, ugh, no. It can't happen to her. Not her. Anyone but her. But it happened. And now it's undone, and I'm happy, and she's got her soul back, and she's amazing. But she's punching the lights out of people. She doesn't have control over it, like, in the same way that Thea doesn't. Thea thinks that she has control right now, but I think that's because she killed, like, what, 3 or 4 people? I think it's just, like, she doesn't have control. She's just, like, time. Like, over time, she will start to lose it again. Till she kills. And then she'll feel better. Which is a really sad life. So that sucks. But, like, let's see. She's back. And she knows that she has trouble doing that, so she's trying to fix herself. I think they were saying that the only real way to stop it is if you kill the person who killed you. So Thea can't kill Ross because Ross is already dead. I think I said that last week. Because I know I did last week's episode. I remember doing last week's episode. Okay. But, so she realizes that she has these issues. So the only way to fix them completely is probably to kill Thea. Because it was Thea's hand that killed her, even though it may not have been Thea herself. Because she was under the flower, mumbo jumbo thing. She got brain screwed that night. So, but you have, one thing I did not mention last week. I remember because next time I saw Starfire, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mention this part when Diggle found out what happened to his brother. That he was killed because he was, dirty and he was encroaching on the hive's, turf. So, yeah. Let's see. This week we had Oliver and Felicity fighting. Felicity kind of felt like a crybaby this episode. She's kind of felt a little whiny a lot recently, but she's still like, I'm so sorry. She's still like, my top, right next to Sarah. Sarah will always be my favorite. Felicity is right there next to her. Those two will always be my top favorites of this show. So, like, I can't just start hating them, but I can accept when they're doing something wrong on the show. Like, I'm not, not biased. So, she's kind of being weak a little bit this season. Although her machine gun episode was not weak at all. That was pretty awesome. But especially this episode. I think this episode was her weakest so far this season. She was complaining about like losing herself in Oliver and not knowing who she is anymore. Which, I mean, like, I can understand that probably happened and she got scared. But I don't know, it just seemed like a step back. She's been pining after him since season 1. And really? You got the man of your dreams and now you're backing off because you get lost in him? Whatever. But the reasoning that her mom gave her for it is, like, I understand that, like, I kind of understand where she's coming from now. Like, her dad obviously was not a good example for her for a strong relationship, and her mom is, like, trying to get in the pants of any hot guy around, or at least was in previous seasons. And so she's just not sure what to do. Like, she's never known that stability in a relationship before. So that's kind of new to her. But her mom told her, that, like, I'm sorry I wasn't a good role model for you. And, like, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to lose yourself in the guy. Like, the people search their whole lives for that. Because, like, you're supposed to lose yourself in each other, but that's also where you find yourself. You find who you are in each other. Like, I thought that was an amazing little speech that Donna had. I think her name was Donna. The Mama Smoke had. Lots of people call her Mama Smoke. So, like, still, even though, like, we know her name, so I'm not totally sure what her name is. I think it's Donna. Because some people are talking about shipping Lana, which is Lance and Donna, because of the ending of the episode, in which Lance is at a bar drinking club soda. He could do it for cheaper sitting on the couch at home watching TV. But I guess if you want a social life, you go drink club soda at a bar. Like, okay. But they meet there and they kind of hit it off at the very end of the episode. I do think that they'll get together. Like, we'll probably see more of Mama Smoke this season. She's probably going to stick around for a while. Which also helps my theory on who Damien Darhk is. I believe Damien Darhk is Felicity's father. Like, Felicity really has no memories of her father. And having the last name Smoke, like, I realize some people out there might actually have that last name, but her TV show, like Smoke. I know I don't think it's spelt the same as like actual smoke. I think it's SMOAK for her. I think that's how they spell her last name. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. But having Smoke as a last name and looking into what she was doing when she was in college, that hacking stuff and being goth and everything like that, I'm like, right, okay. Her name is Smoke. We really don't know that much about her past. Her past is hazy, which is what the air is like after the smoke, after most of the smoke is gone. It's hazy. Like a light fog. So it's like, I'm not sure that Smoke is really her last name. We don't know much about her. We know that she was a hacker in college. We know that she worked for Queen Industries. We know that she is CEO of Palmer Tech. We know that her mom is Donna. That's all we know. So I'm like, she has some secret history in her background that like no one knows about. So I think she's just like such a rich character in that way, and we should start fleshing her out. Otherwise, I'm gonna start thinking that Damien Darhk is her daddy. That's what I think. Because if her mom starts getting with Captain Lance, and like she stays on for most of the season because she's with Lance, then like what other purpose is there? Because Damien Darhk is like, who is this Felicity? You know, so now she's probably a target. And if he doesn't recognize her because she's grown now, like she's no longer the baby that he probably knew. Sorry, the screen keeps shaking. It's on my bed. That she's no longer the baby that he probably knew. I mean, unless he's actually keeping track of her. But if he was, then he would know his own daughter's name. And he probably even like left before Donna had her. But like, I think Donna's the way that he would recognize who she is. Like, if she runs out and goes like, "Don't hurt my baby," or "She's your daughter, don't hurt her," or something like that. Like, I can see that happening. Like, Donna sees that Felicity's in trouble and runs to save her, or like yells at the bad guy, "Don't hurt my daughter." And then, like, the bad guy ends up being Damien Darhk, and he freezes. He's like, "What? I have a daughter?" You know, like, I don't know, but like, I see that happening, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Damien Darhk is her daddy. That would explain a lot, like, why we know nothing about her past. Is because, like, her mom is probably in hiding. Like, that's probably why her mom puts on such a persona. Is because she's in hiding, so what better way to hide than to, like, be so promiscuous? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But I do believe that Damien Darhk is Felicity's father. I also am starting to believe that, I'm sorry for all you people, but is Captain Lance in that grave? It has to be. They are fleshing him out so much. and I don't see it going any other way. I guess it could. Not really sure why Barry would want to be there for it if it was Captain Lance, but I don't know. I mean, maybe because the crossover, he might meet Lance in the crossover, and you know. But then the writers did say that they don't even know who's in the grave. That they'll find out over the course of the season, just like we will, or they did, or I don't know. I don't think they're done filming, so they'll find out over the course of the season, just like we will. But I think the way they're going at it, Lance will probably end up in the grave. He's being so fleshed out. He's being given an important role when he's not actually on the team itself. I think he's going down. Sadly, like he's probably gonna die. Yeah, probably. Let's see. Oh, Sarah's leaving. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I do understand her reasoning behind it. She wants to figure out how to fight this darkness within her, on her own. She wants to figure out how she needs to do it. How Sarah needs to figure out how Sarah deals with this. How she can control it herself. Because, like she was saying, Thea controls it one way, doesn't mean it's the same way for everyone. She needs to figure out how she needs to control it. And leaving is probably one of the better ideas. I am sad and mad that she's leaving because she's like one of my favorite parts of the show. So her being gone saddens me deeply. I think she should go say hi to Nissa though. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, Nissa might fight her because she's mad that they brought her back. I don't know, but yeah. I think that's it for this episode. If I missed anything, please put it down in the comments below. And let's look forward to next episode, because Andy is not dead. Diggle's brother. Andy is alive and working for Hive. I think he's brain screwed right now, like being controlled. So I want to know how they fix that. And the whole thing behind the board, I think that Damien Darhk pulled out at the end of the episode, I think that was a layout of the city, and he's saying take the technology and blow up this half. Blow up this part. I think that's what he was saying. Destroy this part of the city, because he'll probably just rebuild it or something. The way he wants Star City to be. I forgot to talk about Ray this whole episode. I don't know how I forgot to talk about him. Ray is back. They saved him. It's pretty awesome how they did it. Yeah. I don't really have any qualms about that, like how they did it and everything. It did happen a little too fast for me, but I think that's about it. So Ray Palmer is back, but he doesn't want to show his face yet. He thinks stay dead, which is, I think, gonna be how he can leave the city and join Legends of Tomorrow. how he can join that team and fight Vandal Savage. Vandal Savage, who I believe is the leader of Hive, but he's like napping for a long time or something. Like he's in a deep sleep or something, I don't know, but I think he's the true leader behind Hive, and Damien Dark is one of his minions, probably one of his upper minions, probably one of his right hand men. So yeah, that's what I think. So I guess until next time, don't fail this city.